that I have the ability to communicate pretty well, and the information I give you guys is palatable. So when you go to a meet and someone says the only way you can get a coyote to chop is to lock the cams, you can say bullshit. And then when you say this car's running the Ghost Cam tune, and he goes, that's stupid, that makes it run rich. Explain to me like I am Corky. The reference. Explain to me like I'm Corky that a Ghost Cam tune chopping with the intake cam at 20 and the exhaust cam at 12 is different than if you lock the cams at that angle. Like, explain to me like I'm like the most retarded dude on the planet. What's up, Craig Walls? Right? Because when people think the Ghost Cam tune is, oh, you just run it rich and the firing order is different. No, asshole. We take the cams and go at idle. And the moment it goes over 1,000 RPMs, they go back to their normal phasing. So when people go, oh, the only way you can make a coyote chop is if you lock the cams. No, you don't. You are stupid. Shut up. My coworker keeps telling me that to cam my GT350, and I told him it doesn't need cams. It has VCT. It ain't an LS. And this is oh my God, this thing just came out of my fucking head. This is the other issue. TikTokers that don't know shit will say this. What, they'll show a Coyote Mustang, and they'll say, it'll have a caption. It'll say, why did I cam my Coyote? And then, bleh, 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 bleh. I'm like, When you buy ComCam Stage 2, Stage 3, Stage 1s, L&M intake cams, thumpers, whatever, it idles like this. La 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 la. It idles like a fucking stock car. So if you thought that by buying $1,800 or $2,000 cams, paying $1,100 or $1,200 to put them in, $4,000, and you thought your car was going to chop at idle, you got another thing coming. And then what happens? Oh man, I thought they were going to chop. Can you do a Ghost Cam to idle tune? I go, no. Because now the overlap, the lift, and the duration of the aftermarket cam does not let it Ghost Cam in a stable fashion. So now you were double fucked. It's like one of those double dildos. You just back right into it. Fuck it. Nothing chops harder than stock cams, even though it's not real chop like the LS. Right. You really want to get in an LS guy's head? Ask him what causes the chop on an aftermarket cam. Hey, LS guy, when I put a fuck the dolphins, put your dick in the blowhole of the blue whales blowhole cam in it, what makes it go that the stock cam would go la 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 la? Oh, Alex, it's the overlap between the intake lobe and the exhaust lobe. So the stock cam has a certain cam profile that causes the idle to not have a lot of overlap, so it idles smooth. And then when you shove in a kill the Stingray cam, there's more overlap and it causes a choppy idle. Same thing with the Ghost Cam too. I'm going to clip that. Same thing with the Ghost Cam tune. We can move the intake cam independent to the exhaust cam bank per bank. So, intake cam, exhaust cam on bank 2. I can go like this to the cam. Intake this way, exhaust the other way. Because it has about 50 degrees of play in the phaser. So this is a very good thing to talk about. Because I've had a couple of people on the ticket system go, Alex, why won't you send me... Okay, first of all, let's get something right off the bat. We don't have to send you the Ghost Cam tune. Maybe you didn't know this. It is up to our discretion. because we know that it is a slippery slope. Number one, it's free. Free. The reason it's free is because we don't adjust it. If it chops, it chops. If it doesn't chop, it doesn't chop. It's free. If you bought a Lund tune for $800 for the hopes of getting the Ghost Cam tune, you are already fucked. Now let's talk about a positive displacement supercharger. Chuck, what happens when you cause a high overlap event in the engine with the cams? Like, let's say I install aftermarket locked cams and they're in a locked position and causing a lot of overlap and chopping. What is the byproduct of high overlap on the cams on the motor? Go. Go. So if I cause high overlap and the car starts to chop, what is the motor experiencing at idle? Do you see why I say Chuck is a national treasure? I asked Chuck. Vacuum drops. What happens to the bypass, Chuck, when vacuum drops? Reason we need a low vacuum bypass on the S197 GT500 with cams. So, are you willing for the Ghost Cam tune to work, willing to install a low vacuum bypass? This is why we do not offer the Ghost Cam tune in positive displacement applications. It closes and IATs go through the roof. If the vacuum drops at idle, the bypass closes, meaning it is generating internal boost. It is not bypassing, which is what the bypass does. The rotors are spinning at idle. They're spinning. So the bypass is open and it's bypassing any boost. The moment vacuum drops, boop, it shuts. Now you are damn near pressurizing everything, and IATs go to 140, 150, 160, 170 at idle. But if you have a low vacuum bypass, it allows it to stay open even under low vacuum conditions. Are you willing to change your bypass in order to have a Ghost Cam idle tune on your Gen 1, 2, or 3? Whipple, Edelbrock, Odin, or Roush blower? No? Yes, exactly. You got it. You got it. Today was leg day. He's 100% right. 100% right. And you know what's the worst thing about leg day? When you run your finger between your nuts and your inner thigh, woo-wee! You don't want to smell your finger afterwards. It's a... Men are like, he's right. They hate on the Ghost Cam tune because they can't tune it like Lund. I get so much hate when I flash a tune with my N-Gauge on my centrifugal blower, blowing and chopping it idle. Why can you do it on a stock throttle body application? It has a bypass called the blow-off valve, or the blow-off valve. That sucker's open at idle, regardless of the vacuum. And it does not cause high IAT issues. Reason we need a low vacuum bypass, exactly. Is the Z01 getting a Ghost Cam? No, the Z01 has locked cams. Guess what else today was? Yeah, the 911. Wild. Dude, if you're under 30, you think differently about 911 than I do. If you're under 35, you think differently about 911 than I do. Because I was 20 when it happened. And I was like, but I'm not trying to be all somber. But I thought about that today. I go, someone that is 35 years old, a grown-ass man, thinks about today totally differently than I do. Because I was in Massachusetts when it happened. I worked at an airport. It was wild. Overlap kills manifold vacuum. Lack of manifold vacuum had a big effect on bypass operation. Alice, so do you manipulate the phaser solenoids more to make the cams lope? Yes. Yes. And spark and throttle. A bunch of things have to happen. See, anyone here carburetor guys? Anyone know any carburetor guys? If you have a stock cam, let's say, for instance, you have a stock cam on a carbureted 85 Mustang. Carbureted 85 Mustang. Let's say it's got a Holley double pumper. And it's happy. You adjust it, the idle air mixture screws, right? You're happy how it's idling. Now shoving a B cam, an F cam, or an emissions legal E cam in it with 1.6 rockers or something. Do you think the carburetor settings on that car will work fine when it had a stock cam in it versus when you put an aftermarket cam in it? Right. Hell no, says Joe Jackson. Nope, carb goes to shit. You have to adjust it again. Power valve opens. More duration, less idle. So your carburetor settings, back to the carburetor talk, because we don't want to get all somber. Back to the carburetor talk. Your carburetor settings have to change if you have an 85 Mustang GT with a stock cam and then you put in an F cam or a B cam, right? Okay. What do you think has to happen to the throttle, injector, spark, torque, throttle angle? The changes you have to make on a carburetor to make it chop happy with a cam, you have to make changes in the tune to make it live in a happy state. Now, Gen 1 is difficult. Gen 1 is insanely difficult to keep running. Gen 1 is not happy. Gen 1 does not have the best control system. Gen 2 is the king. King. Perfect cam size. Perfect cylinder head design. Perfect overlap to chop nasty. And you're like, that's a stock cam? Dumb. Gen 3, not so much. Gen 4 is pretty good. But I still prefer Gen 2 cam loped idle tune. So again, to all this to say, if you have a positive displacement blower, we probably will not send you a Ghost cam tune, any generation, unless you might be willing to put a low vacuum bypass in it. And even then, it is up to our discretion to send it or not. So don't think it's an automatic. So Edelbrock, Odin, E-Force, Roush, all them shits. Centrifugal, all day. Turbo, all day. Naturally aspirated, all day.